the head of her son is going to be.
Tara Pakinik, in the early morning of February 23, 2022, at her home in Green Bay, Wisconsin, discovered the mutilated head of her 24-year-old son, Shad Tyrion, in a green bucket covered with a towel. Immediately upon seeing this, she alerted her partner, who called the police, and an investigation began that would later reveal the unthinkable crime. Officers, upon arriving on the scene, immediately went down to the basement to see if the entire report was just a silly prank. On the footage from the cameras attached to the police officers' uniforms, we can see the looks on their faces as they uncovered the bucket in question and saw what was inside. Very quickly, the search began for the suspect, who was said to be the woman with whom Shad Tyrion had spent the previous night. When the policemen went to her house, they knew right away that something was really incredibly wrong.
Is this blood? Does this look like blood to you?
They immediately arrested the woman, Taylor Schabusiness, who was already acting strangely from the start. She was smiling and talking off-key, and blood was still visible on her hands. Only when it came to questioning the suspect did it become clear how harrowing this case would be.
Put your hands behind your back, please. Anybody else in your apartment?
In the course of the investigation, it was established that the couple had taken all sorts of drugs together the night before, from marijuana to methamphetamines, and proceeded to have sexual intercourse. The alleged murderer, in an interview with police, claimed that she and Tyrion had used dog chains to strangle each other as part of foreplay. However, at some point, Taylor Schabusiness went a step too far.
Yeah, it was. And then, I don't know. And then I just didn't stop. I don't know why. I didn't stop. Like, he was coughing up blood. I'm like, I don't know.
In her testimony, we can hear that she strangled him with a dog collar until he died. And she herself doesn't even quite know why she did it. But one thing's certain, there's not an ounce of guilt. And all of this, she tells police officers, is extremely disturbing.
Alright.
I was gonna walk him like a dog.
And he wanted that?
I have no idea what I was gonna do it anyway.
It could have all stopped there. But no, it didn't end. Because then, the woman did something even more disgusting after strangling the man. Yes, you heard right.
That she played with his penis after he was dead.
Oh, yeah.
Was it erect?
It was half. It was half.
Yeah. His penis in your vagina? Okay, you just trying on?
Yes, you heard right. The woman had sexual intercourse with the deceased Tyrion, and as if that wasn't enough, she then decided to quarter the man's corpse and cut off his head.
Was his head still on?
No, I took that on. That was the first thing I took on.
Okay.
This is what Dane County Medical Examiner Dr. Vincent Trinchida said about the details of the crime. We have decapitation. We have dismemberment. We have transection of the torso. Subsequently, internally, the body has been eviscerated. In other words, we have entered inside the body through various cuts through the abdomen and between the ribs where the victim's organs have been removed, largely one by one.
Of complete decapitation. In other words, it's going completely through the neck and the head is separate from the remainder of the body.
He told jurors. After quartering the body, the accused hid body parts in various places. The head and penis in a bucket found later by her mother, the legs in various bags found in the basement, as well as some parts she carried to her car. In the footage, in addition to the bags in question, we can also see a blood-stained mattress.
The bucket, the blue bag on top of the dresser, the pink and gray bag on the floor, and then the tote. Are those the 4 locations where human remains were located in the room?
So you cut his head off first, correct?
Yeah.
As the woman later testified, she hid parts of the corpse only so the police officers would have fun looking for them. Some sources also say that the woman kept the dead man's blood and later showered in it. And honestly, analyzing the woman's behavior, we can believe that she actually did it because of how she behaved at the hearing and in court, because that speaks for itself. But before we go on to show you the most outrageous moments from the Taylor Schabusiness case, we'd like to kindly remind you to subscribe to the channel and give us some thumbs up. And now, back to the story. During the interrogation, she talked strangely with subtexts that were simply disgusting.
That's the feeling that I have. I love something so much that I kill it. Like, I love it so much and then I kill it. That's what happens to me.
Quite a few commentators pointed out that the woman seemed to derive satisfaction from the crime she'd committed.
You liked it?
Well, you're gonna have fun trying to look for all the organs, but yeah, they're all dismembered. Yeah.
Schabusiness also admitted that she spent the night cuddled up to Tyrion's body,
Like, I love it so much and then I kill it.
as if nothing had ever happened. The interrogation got darker and darker as the woman described without any hesitation the next steps of her crime, smiling all the while.
You start, cutting up his body.
I don't know, like almost right away. I was sucking and cutting at the same time.
Schabusiness's father and her husband, who are also behind bars, tried to defend her, saying that she had a difficult childhood and was addicted to hard drugs. Her husband even wrote a letter to the press that went like this. I know what she's been accused of. It's not who she is. Not only has her addiction played a big role, but so does her mental background as well as postpartum depression. I just want my wife to get help, professional help, because it's what she deserves. Like I said, my prayers go out to my wife. I love her more than anything in this world, and this will never change, no matter what. This raised questions about Schabusiness's mental state, with her defense claiming insanity. However, the court ultimately ruled that she was competent to stand trial, as we saw Schabusiness smiling throughout the trial while the darkest details of her crimes were described. At one point, she even wanted to punch her lawyer and had to be incapacitated.
Jeffrey Dahmer and other items on the device that were consistent with Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes, things such as flaming pentagram, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Also, after searching her phone, search histories were recovered, and it turned out that the most searched phrase was Jeffrey Dahmer, which appeared to be Schabusiness's obsessive fantasy. After a swift trial, Schabusiness was convicted of multiple charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, mutilation of a corpse, and third-degree sexual assault. All said and done, she now faces life in prison. Without a doubt, this is one of the most tragic events of the past year, and there's no denying that Taylor Schabusiness will remain in our nightmares for a long time. We urge our viewers to engage in respectful discussions in the comments section and remember the importance of empathy when discussing such tragic events. We know it makes for good drama and something to talk about, but somebody did die. If you found our video informative, please don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more content. And I would just like to say thank you for choosing to spend your time with us today. We'll see you in our next video.